Oh man! We're now here with the 13-inch Mega figures. Now, this is heavily sponsored again by Warner Bros. As they have been sending me these figures for free to promote Godzilla vs. Kong. And be sure to check these figures out for yourself when they come out. And yeah, be sure to check out the movie in theaters if you haven't seen it already. You know, when it first came to my house, this was in like a plastic wrap. But then the plastic wrap was covered in dirt and everything, and I didn't want to bring it into my studio when it's all dirty like that. Plus, it had my shipping address on it and everything, so I thought, why don't I remove it? And that's exactly what I did. I removed the plastic wrapping, so that's why we just get this little box. With that being said, let us now open up this box. Alright. Let's see what we've got. Woo! Look at that. Take that out. Here we are. Alright. In this one we've got the Mega Heat Ray Godzilla, and it looks like the strings have already been snipped. Uh-oh. And this is the Mega Punching Kong. Here we are. Dang, they look awesome. Okay, now let's look at them individually. Starting off with Mr. Lizard Man, and then we'll look at Monkey after. Alright, let's start off by looking at this one. This is the Mega Heat Ray Godzilla with lights and sounds. Whoa, that's a mouthful. 13 inches tall, so I think it's the biggest measurement of figures that we've gotten in the Playmates line. So that's gonna be pretty epic. I mean, it feels pretty heavy just from holding the box. This feels heavy. So yeah, if you notice, the string here is already attached. The rest of the figure is intact, so I think someone just mistakenly cut this before packing it and shipping it to me. It does include a little try me demo, which is great. I mean, the figure being out and exposed like this, if you find this on the store shelves, this is definitely a chance for you or child to interact with the figure a bit, just to see if they like the figure before they even purchase it. You can just press the button in the store, so that's good. I like these products that have like the try me feature, because it's good. It's good interaction with the customer before a purchase. So even though we'll be demonstrating the lights and sounds for like the actual like electronic part for this figure, when I take them out of the box, I feel like it makes sense that I just click once here to show you what it looks like if you were to test this in the store. So push this button here. Oh, there we go. Now that's pretty epic. Well, we'll look at more of that in full detail when we take them out of the box. So let's quickly go over the box first, and then we'll take them out. So, first and foremost, a little bit damaged, but oh well. Monsterverse, Mega Heat Ray Godzilla with lights and sound, very long title right there. Intense battle action, boom. Got the Toho and Legendary logo on it with the Playmates logo. Requires 3 AAA batteries. I think they're included, so you use them till it runs out. I'm pretty sure there's a spot for you to change the batteries yourself when they do run out. So, oh yeah. Down here, that looks like it. So, and that on top you got the Godzilla and Kong artwork, and it does come with a little soldier minifigure attached right there, as well as these 2 little atomic bolt thingies for him to shoot out. Blockbuster movie, Godzilla vs. Kong right there. At the bottom, you got a little like assembly instructions, and also look for the Mega Punching Kong, which we're also gonna do. So, boom, is that. The tail, if you're wondering where it is hidden deep inside here. You can see it hidden under there. And then on the back, to show you the back, just a nice little photo. Power up Heat Ray lights and sounds. Again, with the intense battle action, and comes with soldier minifigure thing. And in the movie description. And apart from that, that's pretty much it. There's nothing much else for the package. So let's take Godzilla here out of the package and see what he looks like. Let's do it. Okay, everything has been taken out of the package. Now the next step is to take this really short tail. Surprisingly, this tail is much shorter than the giant Godzilla. Not quite sure the reason, but then again, this is a 13-inch figure, so I guess it's appropriate that they shorten the tail just a little bit. But yeah, that's the tail. Also included are these two little atomic breath missiles, things that he'll shoot out of his mouth. And then there's a little soldier minifigure, which I might as well show you first, because I'm pretty sure if you're not careful enough, you will definitely lose this thing. So just a short little soldier minifigure, I guess for the scale, because if you slap him right next to Godzilla, jeez! Yeah, humans are tiny compared to Godzilla, so yeah, there is that. So that aside, I can put this aside now, and let me just load the tail onto Godzilla, and we can begin the review. Whew! Alright, I'm back. As you can see, the tail is successfully in. I just warmed up the joint for like a minute or two, and I just jammed it in, and it went in perfectly. So that's a neat trick for you people who don't know. If you ever have any toys like this and the joint is extremely difficult to put in, do not force it. You would just risk breaking it. Use a hair dryer, because it's just clean, dry air. Warm it up a bit, and then slide it right in, and it should just not melt the joints, but it'll soften it up to the point that you can actually put it in. So that's how you're gonna do it. So it is successfully in. Nothing than that. So let's take a look at the figure itself. So overall, I genuinely pretty like it. It's a good consistency. My favorite part of it has to be the transparency of the blue on the dorsal fins, which is soft plastic, of course. That means like if you're picking up with it, it doesn't prick you. It won't actually hurt you. In fact, look, when I'm putting my hand over it, it's kind of like bending. So in a way, this is good for safety, because Godzilla does have some really pointy spikes. So I don't blame. I respect Playmates for having like that. But first and foremost, how big is this figure? Well, for starters, here's the 11-inch Godzilla. The giant Godzilla. Yeah, he's bigger by like 2 inches. And there is a difference, not just in the size, but also in the paint job. As you can see, the color scheme is very different from the 11-inch. You got the darker, transparent blue. As for the 11-inch, you just stick with the blue, kind of grayish color scheme. So, what do I think? Which is better? Between the two, I do think the Mega one, in terms of color consistency, really tops it than the 11-inch. But regardless, the 11-inch one still isn't bad. And of course, I've done the review for this already, so you can check it out later for yourself. For another size comparison, here's the smaller 6-inch Heat Ray Godzilla. So if I put him next to the Mega one, so it doesn't really follow the color scheme of the 6-inch, as you can see, because the 6-inch is like all black. This one is still light on the lighter side of black, so it's not too noticeable of a difference there. So there's that. Articulation wise, when I first try out the articulations, the legs were extremely stiff, because of course it's never been touched before. But I'm pretty sure once you play with this long enough, the joints will tend to warm up, and then it won't be that stiff anymore. It's the same concept of Hero Factory, so there's that. The ankles can be moved. That's really nice. Again, it was stiff at first, so I had to just warm it up a bit. Legs can be moved like that, but you can see it's still a little stiff, but you'll get used to it. My favorite point of articulation, though, is the arms. I really thought the arms would just be up and down, but look, they sort of can be moved inside out as well. Kinda has a 360 like, it's almost like it's on a ball joint, but the flexibility this thing has, oh my goodness, look at this. I basically rotate the arms all the way around. The wrists can be moved, sort of, but they've kind of a little bit, a little bit resistant. So, but yeah, the arms really got me by surprise there. I wasn't really expecting the point of articulation to be on a ball joint there. So that means you can get them in some pretty sick poses if you can. I mean, Godzilla already has limited articulation just because of his shape in general, but yeah, glad that they did that for the arms. Really, really happy about it. The tail, of course, has that point of articulation because it's on a ball joint, so you can just turn this all the way around if you want. So again, if you're putting him in like a swimming position, you don't want the tail sticking up, just put the tail like this, and there you go. You just have, that looks so cool, just seeing the transparent blue dorsal fins. Yeah, so there's that. And the tail, I don't know, you saw the 11-inch. The tail was much longer for the 11-inch, but I don't know. It's okay, but I don't know. I don't know what to say about the tail being short. Like I do wish it was longer, but I see why they shortened it given the figure is pretty big. So, but like still, kind of wish it was much longer than that. But anyways, but I do want to praise them for their screw holes problem. See, the 11-inch figures had a big problem where the screw holes were exposed. You could see it, and a lot of people hated the 11-inch figures for it. Looks like Playmates have learned their lesson here, and they've covered it up here for the 13-inch, for these mega ones. You can there's obviously that these are screw holes. That there's no doubt, you can tell. But at least Playmates puts the effort now to cover it up with these little fillings to cover up the screw holes so you don't actually see the screws. So, obviously it's still noticeable, but it's not super noticeable anymore. And I appreciate Playmates for doing that. Great job. They've actually covered it. So that means if you display your Godzilla like this from a distance, you don't really notice the screw holes on there. It's not that noticeable. So that is honestly, I dig it. That's completely, that's a big problem that has been fixed. I'm so glad that they've done it. So glad. And then finally, here's his head, his face. As you can see, the eye is kind of like black. That's because it'll light up with the that's part of the lights and sound part of this figure. So there's that. And of course, you're probably wondering, well, what happens if the figure dies of batteries? Because clearly it's electronics. It's gonna die of batteries eventually. Well, this figure uses 3 AAA batteries, and to change them out, you just put them in here. This does include batteries already. You just gotta change them when it runs out, so you don't have to install it right now. So you just unscrew this part on his belly button, this part, and then the batteries will be inside there. As for here, you can see there's these little holes there. What is that? So that is the speakers for the sound effects for, you know, the lights and sound for this figure. And of course, you got the main button to push for the stuff. So that being said, we have now looked at every articulation and all the other parts of this figure. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Look at this. Imagine that swimming towards you. Oh, you would be terrified. Honestly, I really like the dorsal fins. They look awesome. Anyways, so we've looked at the articulation, we've looked at the looks. So now we're gonna go to the juice of the burger here. The main thing people are digging these figures. That is, of course, the lights and sound play feature. So I kind of showed you already when he was in the box. But now I want to show you what it's like when he's out of the box, tail assembled, everything. What's also included are these little projectiles, which we showed earlier. So they give you 2. How this works is you just put it in his mouth, just like that, like a spring-loaded shooter from the Lego Star Wars set. That, so it's secured in there. Actually, not really. Let me just. I don't think the direction matters. Yeah, the direction doesn't matter. As long as you hear the click, then you know it's in, ready to shoot. So you can see the beam is inside. So let's push the button, and then he'll shoot the thing out and make the roar. Very cool. Let's do that one more time. Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's shoot it at the camera. Hopefully this doesn't hit the camera. And it didn't. So as you've noticed, there are 2 roars that this figure makes. His signature roar, his iconic roar. And you've got the other one where it's kind of from that scene from King of the Monsters where he rushes towards Ghidorah. He lets out that roar. So yeah, there's 2 of that roar. That's the sound effects. As for the lights, let's look at it one more time. So the dorsal fins light up, and so does his eyes. So let's see that. Now, don't get me wrong. That is awesome. The lights look stunning. However, I have a slight problem with it. Look at the way that the lights light up. It goes from the top to the bottom. It like stays for like a couple seconds, and then the light one by one goes out. That is a really cool effect. And no, if you hold the button, it will not hold. The spikes will not be consistently lighting. So the holding the button will not work. You can only press it. Even if you try to hold it, it'll just do it once. I can show you. See, I'm holding the button, and it's still proceeding the same way. But look at how the lights disappear. It goes like that, but then it starts downwards, and that's kind of bothering me. You know what will be even cooler? If they started the lights all the way from the tail or something like that, and they recreate the scene from the movies, where the tail starts to light up, and it slowly builds up like that, and then he like shoots the breath out. See, I think I'm pretty sure I'm playing the scene right here, but yeah, no, that's what I kind of wish was the case for the lights for this figure, but unfortunately, that's not the case. It's not bad, but I think it would be even cooler if we had that sort of pattern instead of what we have here right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, I thought it was really funny. The other thing with the lights here is the eyes. Look at the eyes when I light them up. That looks so goofy. Oh my goodness, I cannot unsee that. That actually looks really funny. So, a little bit of a problem there with the eyes, but it looks goofy instead of scary. So, the paint job kind of failed at that part, but oh well, I'm not too concerned about it. So, other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for this 13-inch figure. The last thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn off all the lights, and I'm gonna then we're gonna see how bright this thing is in complete darkness. That would be really cool. So, before we do that, I'm gonna wrap up this review, or at least for this figure, and then after that we're gonna do the light demos, and then we're gonna move on to Kong. So, good figure. I like the inclusion of a soldier minifigure, even though it's kind of irrelevant, but still. Dude, for the scale, that's pretty nice. Just overall, he looks great. Wish the tail was longer, and wish the lighting pattern was kind of more movie accurate instead of the way it is. Eyes could use work, but good color scheme and good articulation, so I think that's really the strength of this. And I do think if you were on a budget and you had to spend, you could get either this or the 11-inch Godzilla. Definitely get this one because it has the play feature, whereas the 11-inch doesn't. So, yeah, and it has better points of articulation, but that short tail will always keep bothering me. And I do like the inclusion of these little atomic missiles. I think it's better than like the big atomic breath, obviously, because you can actually shoot something out. So, overall, I give this a 7 out of 10. And would I recommend this figure? I definitely do recommend this figure. So, that not a bad Godzilla figure whatsoever. So that's all I gotta say for this figure, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. So let's turn off all the lights and see what this guy looks like in the darkness, and then we're gonna look at the Mega Monkey, Mega Kong, and we'll probably do the same thing. So let's go, let's do it. Okay, so I basically turned off all the lights. We're just gonna turn off the final light here. Before I do, I'm not going to be able to see anything whatsoever, so I need to have my hands on the figure. Okay, let me shut this off now. Alright, let's see how this works. Where's the... There it is. God, that is bright. That is bright. Look at that. Holy crap. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was bright. Dude, this thing is loud and it's bright. So, I would not recommend you blasting this if your parents are asleep at like 1 a.m. because that will certainly wake people up. So let's do it one more time, but from the front. So let's turn this off. Oh, what did I just shoot? There you go. Now that looks awesome. I don't know how I shot this. This wasn't inserted in there, but there you go. So, yeah, a bright figure in the dark. That's for sure. What do you guys think? Do you think that's bright, or it could be even brighter and illuminate the entire room? Well, we'll have to find out some other day. But that is it for this one. Let's now look at Mega Kong. Alright, Mega Godzilla is done. Let's now look at Mega Monkey. So this one I've been quite excited the most for, in terms of like from both of the Mega figures. Just because I looked at him and seems like he does pack quite a deal, but we're about to find out if that lives up to my expectations. So, let's start off. Okay, this time the strings are fully attached, unlike the Godzilla one, thank God. Let's see, Monsterverse, Mega Punching Kong with Flight and Sound. Got the Try Me again. Unfortunately, his arm is stuck in here, so I can't really do like the twisting demo. However, that doesn't stop me from pushing the button on his back. So again, before we take him out, I'm gonna press him just to see what he looks like within the package. So. Not as epic as I thought, but yeah. Okay, so over here you've got comes with the little not super soldier, comes with a soldier minifigure as well. And then you also got his battle axe, a big version of his battle axe. Now that's epic. Just attached, just like that on the back. Blockbuster movie, and then at the bottom, no instructions, just telling you that there's also available Heat Ray Godzilla, Mega Heat Ray Godzilla, which we just did. So here's the back of the box. Boom. Glowing eyes and real battle sounds. Movie description there. And then just a nice photo of him. Intense battle action. And yeah, so without being said, that's it for the package. That's it for the box, which is again a little bit slanted, but oh well. Let's unleash the monkey by taking him out of the package. So let's take him out and take a look at him. Okay, here is our Mega Kong. Taken out, of course, just like Godzilla, they've also included a soldier minifigure. This one is in a slightly different pose, but then again, like I said, no one's gonna really care about this, and it's gonna probably get lost. So, just that, such a simple little minifigure. We'll just put that aside. The other thing though included is a big version of his battle axe. This feels like a high quality material, that's for sure. And just, it's a much more toyish design, obviously, because, you know, safety. But it doesn't hurt when you whack something with it. So, good quality in terms of the axe. As for Kong, here's what he looks like before the axe is on. So now I'm going to slap the axe in his hand, and let's look at him after that. And with that, the axe is in his hands. So, I really like this figure. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Why, you may ask? It's simple. This is the most movie accurate Kong we've seen so far. And I like it. And with the battle axe and everything, perfect. This is the Kong that I've been needing. Let me show you. Not this Kong, the 11-inch Kong, because the 11-inch Kong has a completely different color scheme. Look at that. The 11-inch Kong is all dark and all that. And then you got this 13-inch Kong, which is a much more lower accurate color scheme. So there's that. So obviously, between the 11-inch and the 13-inch, I'm gonna have to say, of course, get the 13-inch. But yeah, of course, if you want to see my full thoughts on the 11-inch here, go check out the review for that. As for the other Kong with battle axe, here's the 6-inch Kong with battle axe. not much of a resemblance. You can see there's different facial expressions. There's definitely, certainly, some form of difference over like between the two, as you can see. So, yeah. But of course, this one includes the light and sounds, and I think the posability here will be much better than this one. So let me just remove him, and now let's take a look. So, first things first, I've already complimented the looks. Really nice, good, consistent color scheme with the brown, black feet, all of that. So that looks pretty cool. The head, look at the head. Good facial expression there. And the mouth can actually be opened and closed. Look at that. So that is awesome. Good points of showing different facial expressions, which is key to these kind of figures. On the back, look at that. They've done the same thing, obviously except for this screw, but they've covered up all the screw holes as well here. But the same thing to Godzilla, of course. Here's the one on the monkey cheeks. Yeah, so obviously, I'm pretty sure you'll be displaying Kong facing the front, so you're not going to see it anyways, but I still appreciate Playmates for putting the effort to cover up the screw holes nevertheless. And yeah, it's not that noticeable. That is good. They've certainly learned their mistakes from the 11-inch. The only reason why this screw is visible is because that's where you change the batteries if this Kong runs out of batteries, so it's necessary that this screw must be showing, or else you're never going to be able to swap the batteries for this guy if he dies of batteries. And then this is the button to push to activate his lights and sound, but you can also do the same thing by twisting his waist. So there's two ways for you to do it. Also, here's his chest, and in between the chest you can see that's the speakers for the sound emit. Posability or articulation. Head can be tilted back and forth like that. Mouth can be open, as we saw earlier. The arms, of course, like Godzilla, the joints are a bit stiff, but once you play with it from time to time, it will tend to warm up. But this is on a ratchet, so it kind of locks everything in place. But you can see full articulation here. You can sort of move the elbows. Wrist, nope, you can't move the wrist whatsoever. So if you want, you can get Kong to a T-pose. Oh yeah. Oh no, you can't move the wrist. Okay, so you can. It's just really stiff. See, this is what I mean. The joints are pretty stiff, but once you play enough with this guy, the joints will warm up. So there's good points of articulation. Of course, it's called Mega Punching Kong, so you want to get into a punching pose, and you can do that. There you go. So the other most important point of articulation, of course, is the twisting of his waist, which will, make his punching actions as well as battle roar. And then legs. Can't move the legs, but you can move the feet. Again, it's super stiff, but again, it will warm up once you get used to it. So there's that. So for a giant figure like this, that's 13 inches, and it's quite heavy too. Like, the articulation stuff is pretty strong on him. And I think that is definitely a strength. Strength, Kong. It's definitely a strength of this figure. That's really why I appreciate this figure. It's a big, chunky figure that can be put on display, and it can be played with because it has so many points of articulation. Like, certainly you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. The axe is a great inclusion to be put in his hand right here. So I really dig this figure. I honestly really do. Good playability, and I'm pretty sure a child will have lots of fun with this figure. That being said, of course, we're the one final thing that we haven't done yet, which is the battle roar and the lights. So, okay, here's how it works. So at first, because his mouth is closed, he just makes normal growling noises. That's his battle roar. And then if you twist him, the same thing happens. Not quite sure how many different sound effects they programmed into this. Godzilla, there was 2, but I feel like there's multiple for Kong here. So now let's open his mouth. There's his signature battle roar. So, obviously his eyes won't light up His eyes obviously don't light up in the movie, but it's a good addition, and I like the different styles of battle roars that he is included with, and certainly, I think, yeah, good. With good articulation, and this has lights and sound, this is definitely a figure that you're gonna have a blast if you're playing with it. So, of course, it is expensive. It is $30, but is it worth it? Well, certainly. I do think this is worth way more than the 11-inch for sure. So, of course, we're gonna look at the lights and sound in the dark, but I want to wrap up the review first. So, yeah, I totally 100% recommend this figure. This and the giant or Mega Godzilla. Like, this is a good Kong. This is the best Kong that I've seen from Playmates. They've really nailed it. They've done an excellent job, and I can't wait to see what they've done more for this. And Kong, they've done him justice. Unlike Playmates, unlike of course Playmates. Unlike the 11-inch Kong. So, Playmates, good job. You've redeemed Kong with the screw holes as well as the points of articulation here. And on my final score for him, a perfect 9 out of 10. Just maybe a tad bit more articulation in the legs or something. But overall, really good figure. Really, really good figure. So, with that being said, let's now see what it looks like in the dark, and then we'll finish this video once and for all. Okay, I feel like this is a figure that you should really see a close-up, because the only thing you can see is light up his eyes. Nothing else lights up, unlike Godzilla, which had his entire dorsal spikes. So, let's switch off the lights and see what he looks like. If I can find the button. There we go. Whoa, that is genuinely pretty scary, not gonna lie. Imagine seeing that in the dark. Just like, that is red eyes. That is actually genuinely pretty. That would be pretty terrifying, I'm not even kidding. So, with that being said, yeah. You don't really need to see the far out version, but oh my god, I almost dropped him. But point being said, yeah, the only thing that lights up is his eyes. So yeah, so the lights and sound is more like eyes light up. So let's I'm gonna bring back the 13-inch Godzilla, and then let's wrap up the video once and for all. Okay, and that wraps it up for both of these 13-inch figures. Do I dig them? Yes, 100%. I've said this many times. I would totally recommend this over the 11-inch figures, just because they're much bigger, obviously. They look much more accurate to the movie. They've come with accessories, and they have lights and sound, and lots of articulation. That's all you ever gonna want from an action figure like Godzilla and Kong. Now, what I'm hoping Playmates will do in the future is release a giant or a Mecha Godzilla with lights and sound. Do it, Playmates. Do it. I don't care if I'm no longer sponsored by that time and I have to pay full price for it. I will do it. I will get it. So, Playmates, do a Mecha Godzilla with lights and sound. Trust me. That will sell like hotcakes. Like, I'm telling you, you're gonna make so much money from that. Like, my idea for that will probably be like, it makes like, there's 2 roars that it makes in the movie. You should include that, and then it can shoot like the red laser beams or something, or make it shoot missiles. But seriously, Playmates, if you're watching this video, please consider a Mecha Godzilla, because if you can do a pretty phenomenal job with Godzilla and Kong here, you can certainly exceed with Mecha Godzilla. So, overall, both figures, wonderful. I highly recommend it. The little soldier figures were a nice addition, but I find them a little bit excessive. But that's just me. I've already given my overall score for both of these 2 figures, so that's it. So thank you so much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed these figures as much as I did. And yeah, if you want to see the reviews for the other Playmates Godzilla vs. Kong toys that I've done, be sure to check them out. They're on a playlist on my channel. You can also find them on the end screen and the title cards. So that's there's that. So Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. That's it for this one. I am Mark45 Studios, and I think we only got 3 more Playmates figures to do. The Battle Roar figures, and then like this new supercharged Godzilla. And unless Playmates makes more figures in the future, I think we're nearing the end of the line. So yeah, anyways, that's it for this one. Bye bye, have a nice day.